Imagine you own a cabin high in the mountains. Your escape, your peace. Then a HOA Karen shows up calling the police, claiming she owns the entire mountain. Sound insane? That's exactly what happened to Devin Randall. Devin inherited a family cabin tucked away up a mountain road. It wasn't fancy, but it was sacred. He loved the silence, the trees, the view. This was a place where rules of the city didn't apply, except, as he was about to discover, rules of the HOA might try to. The neighborhood had a homeowners association, and one of its leaders was notorious for overreaching. When Devin's cabin was brought into the domain of this HOA, she began to assert authority over everything from road access to property boundaries, even things she clearly didn't own. One morning, Devin drove up the mountain road. To his shock, the HOA president was already there. She claimed he was blocking the road, that the driveway wasn't approved, that he was encroaching on what she insisted was her land. She went further. She called the police and demanded law enforcement intervene. Devin, calm but firm, explained the cabin and land were his. His property lines, surveys, and legal documents backed him. He wasn't trespassing. He wasn't violating rules. But the HOA president yelled, "Officer, I own the whole mountain," as though possession could simply be claimed by force. When police arrived, they were met with conflicting claims. The HOA president made bold, false statements about ownership. Devin presented his deeds, maps, and proof of rightful land. The tension was thick. Rural mountain roads, agents of authority, and a battle over what ownership really means out there. As documents were examined, the truth came into focus. The maps didn't match the HOA's claims. The deeds clearly showed Devin's ownership boundaries. The president's assertion of owning the entire mountain had no legal foundation. The police were compelled to side with fact, not intimidation. The HOA president's face changed. Her bluster turned to stammering. Her threats faded. She realized she'd overplayed her hand, and in front of law enforcement, in front of legitimate evidence, she couldn't force her fantasies on someone else's land. Resolution: the police left without siding with her fictitious claims. Devin retained control of his cabin and land. The HOA president's credibility was wounded. The community watched, and whispers began about the limits of HOA power, especially in rural, rugged terrain where boundaries and land rights matter deeply. Devin's mountain cabin remained his sanctuary, not because he had the loudest voice, but because he came prepared with proof, patience, and respect for law. The woman who tried to claim the mountain learned that authority, without truth, isn't authority at all. This story teaches us that boundaries aren't just lines on paper. They represent rights earned, defended, and respected.